mean, they just did everything, and that was just part of the game. That's what you did. That's almost like the old football where you went both ways, you know. You played 60 minutes. You put your uniform on, you go out on the field and play the game. And in track and field, you did as many things as you could to help the team, and that's what those guys did. Well, the 64 team was just recently, last November, inducted into the Fresno Athletic Hall of Fame, which they soundly deserve. This is the 50th anniversary of their championship, and no group of men could be more deserving than that. And that 64 team, plus quite a few from 63 and 62, and some into 65 and 66, meet for a reunion every year. And of course, the first flyer doesn't have a chance. You can't be amazed how much faster 70-year-old guys have become over the years. You know, my gosh, they just get faster every year. But the stories told and the camaraderie displayed are phenomenal. I mean, it's a great reunion, and this particular year we're having it in my backyard.
It's really good to see them. We go usually over to Red Estes' home, and then we have our meets. We have a one-day get-together. It's good to know that I'm not the only one getting old.
We just all like to, you know, just sit and talk, and the good guys are always good. The lesser runners seem to get better as time grows. That's why we have stayed so close to the 63 team, is because that was really the base of the team that we were to build on for 64.
We just had a team that clicked all our way around.
They were such a great group of people, and always helping each other and cheering for each other, and some of those guys, I know that Sid Nicholas and Charlie Craig and Sam Workman never had a meet with fewer than 5 events.
We just knew we had a sprint, jump, hurdle team, relay team that was really, really strong, and enough strength in the distance runners and some of the field events, you know, to balance out. And we won the NCAA College in 64 by 29 points, I think, something close to that.
Charlie was the brains of the outfit. He was smart. You know, we more or less just, whatever he said was going to happen, how we worked out, we followed him in the workouts quite a bit. Darryl, he did his thing. He did his starts. He did his workout for the relays. Radcliffe Stadium was probably the most dressed up track meets you could ever come to. And
in the 50s and 60s, you had to buy your tickets in March because it was a sellout. It only seated 13,000 on one side, and on the totally 13,000 around the whole stadium. But you might get some kind of standing room only if you went down there the day of the meet, because it was a sellout and huge crowds and very enthusiastic crowds following track.
I'd run at Compton and some other of the big meets in Southern California when I was in high school, but there was nothing like running in the West Coast relays. I mean, it was beyond electric.
I will clearly remember the first spring of 65, we had the CCAA Conference Championships at Radcliffe Stadium. The meet was coming down to Long Beach and Fresno State. Whoever wins the 4x440 in those days would win the meet. And Dutch anchored Sam, I think, in his 7th event that day. He'd already long jump, triple jump, run both hurdles, the 100 and the 200, and the 4x1. And the Long Beach runner had a good 25-meter lead when he got the stick. Sam caught him at 200 meters at under 22 seconds split. They both went about another 20 steps and locked up tighter than a drum. The rig was, it was so heavy you couldn't even move. I think they ran the last 100 meters in like 20 seconds. It was horrible, but Sam held on and won the meet. And Sam just expected to do that. That was just part of the game. You did all the events you could to help score points for the team. And he was very selfless when it came to putting out for the team. There's kind of that stigma that you know, your big Division I or whatever you want to call that university division, and your little podunk colleges from Cal colleges someplace coming up to try to challenge the big guys, but they challenged them very well.
We did something that no other school in a large event has ever done. We swept the open division 100-yard dash. We went 1, 2, 3.
And they just went out on the field. They were very, Sam will like the term, we were very workmanlike. on the field. They just went out and competed, and when they had to compete at a higher level, they just did it. They were a tenacious group. For a kind of a middle-of-the-road distance runner like myself to meet Stanford and then Oregon and then Cal and then Oregon State, that was more of an interesting, that was more of a challenge, I think.
As far as my personal career, I couldn't thank a group of people more. What a foundation they laid here with Dutch's excellent coaching and high integrity personality. And falling into a school like this, I just was lucky as I could be. I couldn't have been more blessed.
I think the great thing about this team is that virtually, without exception, every member, all 24 guys on the team went on and were very successful in their lives, whether it was business or finance or education, politics. And Jim Nielsen's a state senator after having served 2 terms in the state assembly. Everybody has just gone on. And, you know, you talk about athletics, not necessarily building character, but enhancing the character that you have. And I think the experience of being on this team with this coach just brought out the best in everybody, because they've all been very successful in their lifetime and made significant contributions to the communities they lived in.